Hi, I'm Melissa Verplank, and I've been involved with the pet industry since the late 70s. I don't know where the time goes because it has been an amazing ride. I love helping people solve their problems with pets. Primarily, my focus has been in the grooming industry, and not only grooming pets, but also training people to become professional pet groomers. I love starting businesses and I love being in this industry. But you know what? As I travel around the country and even as I travel around the world, I find the number one problem in this industry is actually finding qualified help. If you have a successful pet salon, a successful pet grooming business, my guess is you have probably been in the same shoes that I have been in over and over again, and that is finding people to help you run your businesses. They need to be talented, they need to be qualified, and unfortunately, there's just not that many sources to find those kinds of people. And so I turned around and really started focusing on training people to become professional pet groomers. But still, even though there's schools coming up around the country, even around the world, finding those people to help you run your business is very, very challenging. And that's one of the things that right now I've really started to focus on is how can we get you the qualified help when those clients are calling, your appointment book is filled to the brim and you're booked out 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks in advance. You gotta have some help. How are you gonna get it? That's the problem I'm trying to solve for you right now. This industry is so amazing. And you know what? It doesn't matter whether the economy is thriving or whether it's struggling. The pet industry has proven to be almost recession proof. It has grown for the last 5 years immensely. Right now, we're looking at almost a $60 billion industry, and we're not seeing it slow down. The pros out there are still saying in the next 5 years, we are going to continue to see a 4% increase in the pet industry. Unbelievable. When other industries are just totally taken out or have gone away, the pet industry continues to thrive. And you know what? I really think that it stems from that the pets are no longer doing a job for us. That's what purebred dogs were designed to do, is to do a job. But today, instead of doing the jobs that they used to do to help us survive, to put food on the table, to get rid of the varmints, dogs had so many specific roles that helped us. And as time has gone on, dogs have evolved to become our friends. They've become our companions. And today, instead of the dogs being out in the barn and out in the fields, they've moved into our homes with us. And they've literally become a part of our family. And the pets that we're dealing with, people absolutely love them. They love them, and I know I love my own, and I'm sure you love yours, like family. They are my four-legged children. And whatever people love, they're going to take care of. And so with this growth that we're seeing, there is going to be no shortage of jobs now or in the future. It is a great, great industry to be involved with. As I've already shared with you, I've been involved with the industry for over 30 years. And how I got my start was I was kennel help. I was one of those absolutely animal crazy kids. If it had 4 legs and fur, I loved it. And somehow I just knew what my destiny needed to be, and that was to work with pets. And so I had the opportunity to start at a kennel, and then that ultimately led to the grooming room, and that's where I really started to shine. I had no idea how creative professional pet grooming could be and how rewarding it could be. It was fabulous. And back in those days, there was very little educational material out there. And so when I started as a groomer, I was just thrown in, and my first day that I was actually a groomer, I had 6 dogs to do and no clue how to do it. But you know what? I figured it out. I got through it. And right about that same time period is when a number of the certification organizations were just starting out. And we got one of the early trade magazines, and in fact my boss at the time, she was very organized, and she kept them up in the storage room upstairs in the closet. Whenever I had a few moments, I would run up there and I would look at those magazines, and I always felt like I was like going through Playgirl magazine in the closet. You know, it was like I shouldn't be here, but I learned that there was more to grooming than what I was being able to do at the time. And I found out that there was trade shows. And so ultimately I started going to trade shows. One thing led to another, and before long I realized that I really wanted to improve my skills. And the only way that I could do that was to get out into the professional grooming community and start learning from others. So I was passionate about improving my skills and going wherever it took me. And ultimately, I ended up leaving the kennel, and I love business. That was my other passion. And I opened my first business, which was Four Paws Mobile Grooming. That went on to have a fleet of 6 vans. So I was really young at the time, and I think I had my first van when I was only 21 years old. So that was a little bit of a challenge, because within the first year, less than 1 year, I had to add my second van. So I had to start hiring help. Within less than 2 years, I was adding my third. And by the time I got to my fourth van and my fifth van, I added 2 at a time. And so I was really having a challenge finding people to help me grow that company at the caliber that I needed them to be grooming at, because at that time my own personal level of education and quality of grooming was growing. I had discovered the competition ring, I was competing, I had discovered dog shows. I just wanted to be the best groomer that I could be, and with mobile I needed my team to be the best that they could be as well. There was times that I would go for over a year and I would have a van sitting down because I couldn't find the qualified help I needed to fill that van. And it was a constant struggle. I had an opportunity to open a salon, and it was outside of our service range for those mobile grooming vans. And I ultimately turned it into a training center because I just couldn't find the help. So I started the salon. I was training people for the mobile grooming vans. And then another opportunity came down, and I had the opportunity to start the Paragon School of Pet Grooming. And that was back in 1991. I think we got our license by the state of Michigan. And by 1992, January, we started our first classes. Since then, Paragon has grown to be one of the largest training centers in the country. We have trained thousands of professional groomers. It has been a really fun ride with that because I got to challenge myself. I made it to the top of the field. I was one of those folks that made it to Groom Team USA when Groom Team was brand new. I was able to travel all over the country as a competitive level stylist, and even the world. I have been to France, I've been to Italy, I've been to Argentina, Germany. I can't even, the countries that I've been able to travel through to because of my passion of quality with grooming has been immense. So that's one of the really neat things about this industry is it can take you wherever you want to go. Whether you want to be somebody who is just working from your home grooming pets, or whether you want to travel the world. The professional pet grooming industry will allow you to do that. But you know what the key is to getting to those upper levels is education. If you are not educated, if I was not educated, if I was not passionate about enhancing my career and becoming the best professional pet groomer I could be, those doors of opportunity would not have opened for me. And I needed a team because if I was out traveling the globe, I had a whole business back at home that needed to be run. And so finding those talented people that could step in for me when I left and when I was able to look for other challenges and to grow my businesses, I had to have those talented people. So we started the school. School's going great, but I still didn't feel like I was hitting the number of people that I really wanted to. There's so many people that have a dream of working with pets, just like I did, just like you probably have had. That's the one thing about this industry is people don't get into this industry because they dislike dogs. It's just absolutely the opposite. You're so passionate about the animals that's how you get into it. But you've got to have training. And even though I had one of the largest training centers in the country, I still couldn't reach the number of people I wanted to. And we didn't have the training material that I felt we really needed. And so I was able to team up with one of our graduates, Lisa Van Sweden, unbelievable artist. I was able to take the wealth of information that I had gathered through years of training on my own and turn it into a book. And that book was Notes from the Grooming Table. And it has gone on to become one of the #1 training reference manuals in the country, if not the world. Amazing that that's where that book is. I also did a complimentary book to Notes from the Grooming Table called The Theory of Five. That also sells amazingly well. And as I go out and I'm at trade shows and I'm talking to people, people are picking up the books, they're talking to us. And it's still, even though I've put the book out, I've got the school, people still weren't being able to find the qualified help that they needed. And they kept saying, send me people, send me people, send me people. Well, unfortunately, in this industry, people generally don't relocate for a job. And so I thought, what else can I do to help the salon owner, to help people enter the field more easily? And so I thought, videos. We've got to be able to put out videos. And so that was another business that I started, which is learntogroomdogs.com. And we work with the top professionals in the field, shooting videos. They're basically live demonstrations that we're filming, and the viewer, the member, can see all these top professionals grooming the dogs. But if you really want to grow your career or grow your team, it takes a little bit more than just passion. It takes education. And I really want to help people grow their teams so that more people that are passionate about pets can enter the field. If you're a business owner, you know what I'm talking about. It's tough to find those people and get the training in their hands so that they can take their passion to the next level. And that is to help build their career and to help build your business. So one of the things I really want to help you with today is to understand what it takes when you're looking for a new hire, somebody to join your team. With all the companies that I've had over the years, we have hired an awful lot of people. I have hired a lot of people, and when we have looked at prospective students, we don't take just everybody that comes into the school. We are going to interview that person and try to figure out if it is a strong match for the career at hand. Professional pet grooming, it takes so much more than, I just love puppies and I want to work with them. You guys know, you're in the trenches, you know it takes a lot of hard work. We want to ensure that after that person has had hair blown all over them, that they've gotten soaking wet, that they've had to clean up all kinds of messes from dogs, that they still want to do it. Because bottom line, with a new hire, you've got to put the training in, and you want to make sure that that person is going to stick. So what do we look for when we're looking at a new hire or a prospective student? And one of the things I really look for is, does that person do anything outside with animals? Are they involved with 4-H? We find typically somebody from a rural background that has worked the land or worked with 4-H are really great candidates for a professional pet grooming salon. If you are in a situation where it's more an urban type environment, take a look at what kind of education they have had and what extracurricular activities they have done outside of classroom. Have they been on the student council? Are they involved in band? Are they involved in sports? You're looking for something that tells you that this person is capable of going up and beyond just the status quo, going to class. If they are beyond the high school or college level, How are they involved with dogs? Have they done anything? Are they involved with dog shows, obedience trials? Are they involved with fostering dogs? There's so many different avenues that people can donate their times, their services, or to spur their passion. Those are key things that you're looking at. So once you find a candidate that fits the bill, that you feel like it's going to work okay, bring them on in for a test. Find out. It might be a day, it might be a week. Test them out, see how they fit with your team, and make sure that work ethic that they projected to you is actually there. And definitely call on references. If they give you references, call on those references and check those folks out. Okay, so now you've got them into your salon situation. You're giving them the training. Now you want to start feeling out, how does that person respond to direction? Because somebody's not going to be able to come in and just know how to do something. You are going to have to give them direction, and you're normally going to start them at lower level tasks. A lot of times they're going to start out as an assistant, as a runner, as a bather, and you're going to start building layers of talent, of skills into their repertoire. How are they taking that direction? Do they self-correct easily, or do you have to tell them 3 times, 7 times, 12 times? Now, the normal average adult learner, it does take between 3 and 7 times of hearing something before it literally sinks in. So you can't just tell somebody something once. You're going to have to tell them multiple times. And some of the best education that you can give them is to have them not only see it, but read it and hear it. So you want to cover all your bases. Everybody learns a little bit differently. Some people learn better by reading it, some people learn better by seeing it, and others learn better by hearing it. But if you cover all 3 of those bases, you stand a much greater chance of having that person excel in the field or at the task that you have hired them in for. So I want to thank you for hanging out with me through our first video, and I want to let you know that we do have another video coming up in a couple days, and I want to help you figure out how to put the training program in place so that you can build layers in for your student. And you know what I call this is the card game, and I'm going to teach you how to use the card game, whether it be for a new hire coming in and you've got skills that you need to teach them, or whether you're dealing with a team of people already. There's a way to sort the dogs so that you don't give somebody a task or a job that's going to be way over their head and they're going to fail at. One of the things you really want to do in any kind of a business or any kind of training is to help the person succeed, because a lot of little successes build to a point where they're going to succeed at much larger tasks. And so I'm going to help you understand how to play the card game with dogs, to sort those dogs out, so that you get that type of training in place. So hang with me, check it out in the next couple days. You'll see that next video coming out. In the meantime, I definitely would love to hear what you thought about this video. So underneath the video, there's going to be an area for you to make some comments. So please leave your comments, like us on Facebook, and we'll see you in the next video.